Okay, so when I saw the website by Y Combinator, I immediately thought that, oh, this is going to be like a nice small update that it's not going to be quite loud. But everyone on Twitter pointed out that this is like one of the best websites they have ever seen, and I decided to actually look at it second time and actually go through different pieces and try to criticize of what I think could have been better. I will go through step by step, and we will kind of try to dive into some of the details that could be kind of nice. I like this kind of initial kind of text here. The only thing that I would point out is that it's a little bit weak, just because like I like thin serif fonts. I see the whole point of it. I especially like the logo here and how it's kind of like, if you squish your eyes, it kind of looks directly like, it points out to the bottom. So it's kind of already a really nice detail in the logo and kind of the design itself. But then this one meets us with quite bland way, as if it's like quite hard to read. And more than that, I actually think that by shortening the word here, you're making a disservice. I feel like if it was literally like written as Y Combinator, the same as it written in tooltip. So let me quickly adjust it here. Go to inspect and say Y Combinator. Sorry, made a mistake. I think this one really looks more powerful than before. I know that there is like this small, how should I think I should do it like slightly wider. I'm not sure, how did they even build it? Is it Ruby? Yeah, it's called built on Ruby apparently. Okay, let me make it wider and let me see. And this is like the problem with those different max width things. I know I'm kind of cheating right now, but it's going to be better. I think when you mention the name of your startup or your company, it just makes so much more sense and so much better. I will even screenshot it for later just so we would compare. But just look how more powerful it looks like when it's written like this compared to this one. And I feel like, oh, it's maybe while I was recording the website, they pushed an update to apply for spring or something. But what I was about to say is that you can clearly see that YC by itself doesn't really work as good, and if it was like switched, it would be kind of slightly better. I would also say that this 1 and 1, I'm not sure I like this kind of reference. Because it's like so close to each other, there is no need to reference it through the kind of reference number, unless there are going to be way more references in the future, but there is none. It's literally one reference per page. So I'd rather change it to asterisk, or actually I wouldn't like even write anything at all. And more than that, I would say that if Paul Graham, like, in order to highlight someone's personality, and I feel like there was a goal to actually highlight, through the quoting him and the name, it would be just a nice touch to show their photo. I feel like that kind of would be nice. But I also agree that very minimalistic kind of, front page makes sense, and I love it. And I love that it becomes like a cursive font here, like where italics, and I really like how it looks like. I do feel like maybe like just turning YC into Y Combinator, or like maybe bolding it, would make it a little bit more less bland. So if I could like just take the whole thing here and say like font weight, and then make it like really, I don't know, I can go either very, very bold, but even if we go like something like 700, it immediately kind of reads way more nicer and way more way more in the face. I also feel like this particular font, this is, I feel like sans serif or source serif. So source serif is, the problem is this cursive is not strong enough. What I mean by that is that the difference between the non-cursive font and cursive font is not that big to actually make a stylistic contrast between them. So some other fonts, for example, like EB Garamond, actually kind of would work slightly better, just because they would be, let me just literally show you, font family EB Paramount. So if you can see, this is the original form, and this is like, it should be slightly more extreme. Like you look at the letter F, or look at the letter like A, how much more pronounced it becomes whenever it becomes like, cursive. And I feel like whenever, and of course the whole thing should be, written in this font, of course. But the point that I'm trying to make is that you want to make it like, in a really contrasty way. And this one, for example, would make a better like, contrast with this, because you can see how into and formidable are written, like how differently they look like, and this is the whole point. Because again, I will right now screenshot it right now just for the future reference. Just remember how it looks like, and then I'm going to restart, and this is how way more bland it looks like without it. Anyways, for 6 minutes I've been like spamming you about the text. Let's go further. I feel like this one is kind of probably the best part of this website. I agree, this is nice. The whole Mario thing, that people come in and they get something and they become a different type of person, and kind of highlighting the different growth personality from two polo shirts into something like more sophisticated, totally makes sense. I love it. The only joke I can see is that sometimes you show just two people and then there's only one on the other side, which is sometimes nice, like I get the idea, but it also looks a little bit like either tell the story like, at the end of the credits of the movie, sometimes they tell, oh, Jack becomes this kind of person, he realizes all of the dreams, Jackie successfully launches another company or something. Here, because you mention Alexander but don't mention Lucy, where is Lucy? I feel like, this is quite important for the storytelling, and maybe it's kind of like, maybe it's actually enough. Maybe it's enough minimalistic to actually, not even kind of question that point and just do it. But I feel like, oh, by the way, this photo has changed. I feel like, no, this was kind of the same. Again, only one person here. There are like different, amount of people on both photos. I feel like if the focus is builders into formidable founders, and especially like the way OpenAI kind of shows, I feel like this is the best photo, and this is photo combination. And I feel like the same style should be preserved throughout like both of them. But generally, big kudos to this. I feel like this is a really great website. I like this one also, like 1.3 in combined valuation, all companies, different logos, just love it. Absolutely brilliant. I really love this text. I also feel like it was added recently. I didn't see it before, but it's very good. I really like those. This is beautiful. I feel like this is really, really nice. Where you kind of use someone else's words and then you highlight their photo. This is exactly what I was saying when you wanted to show the Paul Graham here. You want to put his photo just because I feel like it would be a really good homage to him. Even if you want to kind of downplaying it by showing a small photo kind of really, really works. So I feel like that's another thing that would be good. One thing that I didn't really like is those kind of AI videos, and it's not because I don't like AI videos. Actually, I adore AI videos, but here it's so obvious that it skews the face of the person so much, and this is what I don't like. I don't like when you want to put the focus on a person and it's clearly the whole thing here is about the person. It's literally, their name and stuff, and it's like multiplied by AI. It just looks weaker on that front. And there are multiple points here where, the hands are getting mushy somewhere on the side and stuff. It's just like, it's quite visible, and it's really giving this kind of off effect. Maybe, of course, later it will be like solved, but I feel like even this video, like I saw these hands behind, it's clearly like very... I don't know, have a kind of this weird AI-ish feeling to it in a not a good way. I feel like you should use better model for videos just to reach the perfect effect, and be sure that whenever you are working with people on videos, they should be main heroes. It shouldn't be just about moving video. It should be about like the person and preserving their truth, in that. Really love this. By the way, really nice. One person into one kind of, successful photo. The transition, just amazing. I'm fully fully sold here. Is just like, this is like the best way of showing it, and I absolutely love what you did here. What else? This is beautiful, like just literally shows how much you have. I feel like there's a little bit of a kind of lack of, I don't know how to even say it, lack of a structure of where to go to see something. Like, should I go to, like, is there like all podcast thing, or is there like, can I press on startup news? Startup news is probably like hacker news. No, why it's not clickable? Why the kind of, it's just like, I wish it was like a little bit more, I don't know, like complete in a way, like, hey, this is our media empire, we are working on kind of building the whole thing. And I think there is just not enough of that kind of navigation around it. But anyways, then this one, and this is pretty good. No hovers here, it's just like photos sitting here, which is okay, but I feel like it's also could be a little bit more powerful than this. Anyways, beautiful footer, super simple, super nice, bright photos. Love the logos, everything is beautiful, everything is done. And obviously the apply button, and I like the play with the apply button to actually make it the cursive there as well. I feel like this is beautiful, and I feel like it's very, very nice. No comments on this. But yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye.